From personal development and self-improvement theories, the company goes towards an introduction to financial products. How should you maintain a healthy level of your net worth? This is a very important question. Why getting to know every ingredient of the components of your net worth in detail? Now, net worth is equal to financial assets minus the financial liabilities. Our dear King James mentioned it yesterday. Before getting to know financial products, you should be familiar with the significance of banks, from central banks to commercial banks. How do they intervene in your money-making decisions and how you can benefit from them? Banks are complex institutions which provide not only loans and deposits, but also security and regulations. Central banks set the minimum interest rates which you need to familiarize yourself with if you want to take advantage the service of banks. Banks are essential partners in our lives. The more you know them, the better long-term partnership you can maintain. If you want to increase your net worth, you should work towards increasing your financial assets and decreasing your financial liabilities. You can increase your assets side by holding some, or the following: cash and cash equivalents. This is one of the options. Bonds or stocks. The One ecosystem goes deep inside different investment products such as commodities, forex, structured products, derivatives, etc. of course, listing all of their specific and potential returns. Bear in mind that while reading and going through the investment alternatives, you should only think about how to integrate these financial returns into your own investment pockets. Minimize the size of liabilities by wisely evaluating the difference between a bad debt and a good debt. What is a bad debt? The bad debt will not bring you any benefits in long term. In most cases, it is just used to a short period of time for some needs of consumption. On the other hand, when you are accomplishing a good debt, it is for the sake of purchasing something that will return your initial investment in the long term. The best case scenario of having a good debt is that the return will cover the initial debt in the short term by decreasing to a minimal level the amount of bad debt within your net worth calculation. You are enhancing the possibility of quicker accumulation of wealth. The final and the most innovative part of One ecosystem covers cryptocurrency. No the company yet has ever so explicitly demonstrated what exactly cryptocurrency is or how to exploit the subject in order to benefit for it. I'm sure you all remember what King James said yesterday. What is the beneficial difference of holding a cryptocurrency rather than just holding a currency? What is the difference between a cryptocurrency and a currency? Years after the abolishment of gold standards, the USA dollar is not backed up by any tangible assets. This pure fact is valid for global currencies. What does this mean? It means that the money which you hold in your hands is just a piece of paper or numbers in your screen. It has no real value, no equivalence. There is no tangible asset behind it. Cryptocurrency is based on crypting, which is securizing and encrypting the real currency value behind it. The initial purpose for the creation of a cryptocurrency was the introduction of a new currency unit which will not be affected by any governmental or economical local player. Cryptocurrencies are not tied to any worldwide currencies, and for the reason their price will not influence due to any governmental policies. Furthermore, cryptocurrencies are a perfect investment alternative, either for the short term, for the long term. You can use cryptocurrencies also for instant exchange all around the globe, or as a payment tool for various products and services. The most significant difference which you should consider between a normal fiat currency and a cryptocurrency is the security which the cryptos provides. One ecosystem puts you one step ahead of your regular life and reminds you once again, you are your only obstacle to achieve financial achievement. Now, I'm going to a very specific topic. This is the description of the product and how it is going to solve said problem. One ecosystem is a company for direct sales through multi-level marketing. One ecosystem in turn is a one ecosystem is turned as a computer-generated virtual currency created by using mathematical and cryptocurrency algorithms based on the tokens. The main activity of the company is the sale of the online educational program One Academy. Educational services are distributed by Independent Market Associate, IMAs. Their object is to present and provide intermediation service within regard to training products. The online education program allows IMAs and users to trade in cryptocurrencies or tokens to mine units of one. The functionality of the software used by the company to distribute educational program allows the exchange of units of the virtual currency one and tokens. A growing number of online and offline venues are now accepting one as a form of payment in the deal shaker. The values are determined by the principle of supply and demand in the market. At the beginning of the marketing activities, each EMA receives an activation module, free of charge. It contains basic information about the main product of the company, One Academy. The online educational program is an introduction to the financial products and trading and provides the trainees with online training materials, video presentations, tests, and a certificate to begin exploring the OES vision, One Ecosystem vision. An opportunity is provided for several levels of training, up to 6 levels of training. IMAs have the opportunity to register in the system free of charge as rookies or to purchase additional high-level product packages. Each package includes components of the program as a specific level of training, including information regarding the general provisions, processing of the trade and a virtual currency, cryptocurrency, and one. In addition, each package contains a specified number of promotional tokens that can be used for mining, generating units of the virtual currency one. There is no obligation to purchase the product after registration. IMAs can work to realize retail sales and earn commissions from them. Depending on their personal objectives, IMAs may choose the training courses needed and the extent to which they wish to participate in the generated and training of the digital currency. Both training materials and promotional tokens are offered, notwithstanding the role in the system of distribution. A rookie account requires no investment at all. In this position, an IMA can already realize sales activities by distributing packages, composing tokens, and training units. For this, he will receive a commission. In addition, he can build up his own team based on recruiting new IMAs. The IMA are also not giving the false impression of reaching an exceptionally great and fast economy. Success without the respective work effort within the remuneration system. So it is exactly brought to the IMA's attention that the level of income decisively depends on the personal work effort and individual skills. Referring to the level of income, no promises are being made. The study of the service provided by the company in connection with the Educational Product One Academy allows to draw the following conclusions. First, the virtual currency one does not constitute a separate service, but rather can be characterized as an instrument through which the principles of the educational materials provided depending on the activated packages can be applied in practice. The virtual currency one, this is the second one, the virtual currency one is generated in centralized manner within the system developed and operated by the company. Cryptographic algorithms are used in the generation of new units of the virtual currency one. The third one, the new units of the virtual currency one can be generated only using promotional tokens provided by the company. Promotional tokens, like virtual currency, exist only in the form of electronic records within the system, and neither they nor the rights that can be realized through them are objective in tangible form. The next one is the operations involved in the virtual currency ones that can be performed only within the system provided by the company. About the DealShaker, DealShaker is an online deals marketplace and advertising service provider with a membership-based customer base. The platform enables business to customer and customer to customer deal promotions in combination of cash, euro, for example, and the new age mass cryptocurrency ones. Ads are grouped based on the geographic areas, business categories, and type. I think Mr. Christie and Ludmil, they explained it better than me, for sure. The focus on one ecosystem is on sales and customer acquisition through independent marketing agents, IMAs. The company applies internal ethical rules that comply with the regulation in order to build clear and fair rules. The following statements are basically underlying the relationship between the company and the network. First, direct selling companies should deal fairly and honorably with direct sales and prospective recruits and should not abuse their trust or exploit their possible lack of business experience. Payments and withholdings should be made in a commercially responsible manner. Direct sellers should not be given adequate education and training to enable them to operate ethically. Direct selling companies should communicate the contents of the code to the direct sellers, that they should be required as a condition to membership in the company's distribution system to comply with the standards of the company. Direct sellers should be fully informed by direct selling companies as to the characteristics of the goods of service offered, to enable the direct sellers to give the customer all necessary information. Misleading, deceptive, or otherwise unfair recruiting practice should not be used. Unverifiable factual representations of false promises should not be made to prospective recruits. The advantages, the selling opportunity should be presented truthfully and should not be exaggerated. Entrance fees, training fees, franchise fees, fees for promotional materials, or other fees related slowly to the right to participate in the business should not be exceptionally high. And fees charged to become a direct seller should relate directly to the value of materials and products that was provided. Actual or potential sales or earnings, directly sellers should not be mispresented. Any sales or earnings representations made should be based upon documented facts. These rules aim to create fair competition that is no misleading and or impair the ability to make reasonable, sound decision. Now, I'll need some water, sorry, but if someone can get me water. Okay, I'll need some water, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Here you go, sir.
Thank you very much. This for you?
Those only ones. Only ones acceptable.
Only coins?
Only
Okay,
ones accepted.
only ones. Okay, okay. I'll leave it with me. I'll leave it with me. Thank you, sir. Sometimes we need help, you know. Now, thank you once again, sir. Applause for my friend, King James. Thank you. Now we're going to the next topic, ladies and gentlemen. This is the description of the market and the problem. Virtual currencies are relatively new technology phenomenon. The coming into existence, which is to a large extent facilitated by the deeper and deeper penetration of information and communication technologies in our daily lives and the increasing use of the internet. According to an opinion on the EBA dated 4th July 2040 on virtual currencies, gracias. Virtual currencies, where was I? Just a second. Exactly. Virtual currencies, no. Okay, sorry. Happens from time to time. Virtual currencies, sorry, okay, help me a little. Thank you. Gracias. According to the opinion on the EBA dated 4 July 2040 on virtual currencies, it is stated that at the time of publishing the document, over 200 different virtual currencies schemes existed. Other unconfirmed sources claim that over 600 type of cryptographic currencies also referred to a cryptocurrencies exist. The large amount of virtual currency schemes and the complex technological aspects related to their generation and the closing of transaction involving them, for example, sales, transfer action, uses a means of payment. And their possible application create a significant problem for efforts for the implementation of a systematic methodological approach to categorize them. Nevertheless, in view of the existence of some common features of individual types, the application of certain criteria relating to the convertibility of units of virtual currency, their liquidity, the technologies used, etc., of course. When considered in a broader context, the following categories can be conditionally distinguished. The first one is called depending on whether it is possible to purchase virtual units in exchange for the official currencies and purchase goods of service. The first one is called closed virtual currency scheme. These are schemes that have no or almost no link to the real economy. They are offered in closed software environment and can be used to obtain virtual goods or services only in the context of the corresponding environment and, by definition, cannot be used in the turnover outside such environment. The most common example illustrating closed virtual currency schemes are associated with computer games, where the virtual currency is generated depending on the performance of the user in the game. The second one is called virtual currency schemes with unidirectional flows. These are schemes in which units of the virtual currency can be purchased using official currency but not be exchanged back. Hence the definition of unidirectional flows. The terms and conditions of these are defined by the creator of the corresponding scheme. Regardless, the fact that it is not possible to translate the virtual currency into an official currency. It is possible to purchase goods and service using units of the virtual currency. The third one of this topic is the virtual currency schemes with bidirectional flows. In these schemes, user can buy and sell units of the virtual currency using or in exchange for an official currency, which is simple. In view of their economic significance and popularity, these schemes are the subject of greatest interest both by users and by regulators, supervisory and legislative government bodies. Now, the second one, as an option, is depending on the technology that is used. The first one, depending on the technology, is a virtual currency scheme using cryptographic algorithms to protect users and and authenticate the generation of and transaction in units of the virtual currency, and also to limit the number of units that can be generated over a certain period of time. They are also referred to a cryptographic currencies or cryptocurrencies. In the general case, the technology could be described as a similar or relative to the public key infrastructure used to create advanced and qualified electronic significant with the meaning of the electronic document and electronic signature act. Sorry. In the connection, however, it should be noted that with cryptocurrencies, the figure of the supplier or identification services is not existent, and is this sense a comparison could continue to be valid only with regard to the technological aspect and not to the structural and organizational aspect. That was the first one. The second one is virtual currency schemes that not using cryptographic algorithms in the operations with the virtual currency. That is it. The third topic is depending on whether the scheme is controlled by a known operator or operators. The first one in this line is decentralized virtual currency schemes. In these schemes, the software required for generating units of the virtual currency and operating with them is usually not under the control of a specific operator. In these cases, a peer-to-peer communication technology is usually used where communication between users is direct and individual devices are used as both server and client. The applications required are distributed under open license, allowing free use of the source code for processing of existing software application or developing new ones. Cryptocurrencies are usually based exactly on such decentralized system. The second one is, of course, the centralized virtual currency scheme. In these schemes, unlike the centralized one, the owner and or the operator, usually this is the developer of the scheme, of the software system used to generate and operate with the virtual currency are known. While in decentralized system, and in particular cryptocurrency, the generation of new units of the virtual currency is determined by mechanism built into the software system. This is software protocols, also referred to as controls, and terms and conditions based on solving cryptographic tasks. In centralized schemes, this issue depends on and is sometimes entirely under the control of the owner or the operator. On most occasions, closed virtual currency schemes and schemes with, let's call it, unidirectional flows are centralized. Now, what is common to all virtual currencies in the fact that they all function as a substitute for official currencies and monetary units on the one hand, and on the other hand, exist only in cyberspace, which is in computer-generated environment without a tangible physical sign of their existence other than an electronic record in the information system. In view of this, in order to make a clear characterization of virtual currencies, we need to compare and clarify the relationship with the traditional notions of currency and money. According to some authors, money are bearer securities and materialized rights are used by the state or an issuing institute designed thereby. They are securities only in cash and allows materialized only value. According to other authors, based on the according to other authors, based on the assertion that securities are private depositive documents, money are official documents. According to the later authors, after the abolition of the gold standards, money does not materialize rights, but only value. Just a second. Thank you. We can continue. Next, a third category of an author notes that the identification of money with a document, either private or official, is fundamentally flawed and such statements should not be shared. According to them, a significant deficiency in the drafting of the definition above is that they do not recognize the fact that money is both materialized and dematerialized, existing in the bank accounts as liabilities of banks. This group defines money as a specific type of official certifying sign that denotes different normal values, represents a legal tender issued by the authorized institution, serves to make payments, accumulate wealth, and as a reporting unit, and can have different physical form or be dematerialized, expressed in numerical form in accounts on the liability side of banks. In this last definition, we can see the influence of the economic theory, according to which, in functional aspect, money serves as, first, means of circulation, medium of exchange. Money is a convenient substitute for all goods and services, which greatly facilitates exchange. Second of all, unit of value, unit of reporting. By dividing the money into convenient units, goods and services are represented as a certain amount of money. In the sense, money is a measure which facilitates the expressing of a certain amount of goods or services provided or received. The third one, means to preserve value. Money is used to accumulate and preserve wealth, to accumulate material resources. The fact that virtual currencies are not legal tender is undoubted, but that does not affect their legally and does not pursue the possibility to guilty them as contractual means of payment. This fact underlies the approach taken by some countries and jurisdictions to make virtual currencies subject of the legal regime relating to the barter exchange. The context of the concept legal tender includes the following main points. Where a consideration is negotiated in a particular currency, the creator is obligated to accept the payment regardless of the type of normal value of the money, as long as they are in the same currency obligations of the issuer to the currency and minimum regulatory threshold for the use of the currency. It is also beyond, despite the virtual currencies are not issued by a central bank and are not subject to regulation by such bank in the sense they are not an official monetary unit or currency. It is for the reason that virtual currency are classified as alternative currencies in the sense that they are an alternative of official monetary unit. The difference, however, also does not affect the legality of virtual currency schemes. The third difference is the fact that virtual currencies are not normally characterized by the existing of a tangible medium. This, however, is relative as far as the information provided access to and ability to operate in a virtual currency could be, let's say, reproduced on a physical medium. In the context of cryptocurrencies, for example, this would be the information about the public and the private key to the user used to sign transactions involving available units of the corresponding virtual currency. We can also see, however, significant similarities between money and virtual currencies in terms of main functions according to established money theories in economics. Both money and units of a virtual currency can serve as means of circulation, unit of a value, and means to preserve value. In this sense, the existence of equivalence in terms of functionality between traditionally established understanding of money and virtual currencies could be justified. The positions and opinions of official European financial authorities define virtual currency differently, and therefore we cannot establish the existence of a single accepted definition. For example, the EBA that I mentioned previously defines virtual currency as a digital representation of value that is neither issued by a central bank or a public authority, nor necessarily attached to a fiat currency, but is accepted by natural or legal persons as a means of payment and can be transferred, stored, or traded electronically. The next ECB gives following definition. Virtual currency can be defined as a type of unregulated digital money, which is issued and usually controlled by its developers and used and accepted among the members of a specific virtual community. On the other hand, in an opinion discussing matters relating to the VAT regime and tax application to Bitcoin, the group of the future of VAT at Directional General Taxation and Customs Union of the European Commission, EC, refers directly to the definition of the EBA and ECB, where characterizing the concept virtual currency regardless of the differences between them. What can be said so far about the categories and characteristics of virtual currency allows to define once as a specific type of closed, centralized, cryptographic virtual currency with bidirectional flows, which is digital representation of monetary value used by individuals and organizations, members of a specific virtual community, as a means of payment and can be transferred, stored, and traded electronically. Once is defined as a centralized virtual currency. Since the owner, who is at the same time the operator of the information system, used to generate and operate with the virtual currency is known, and the generation of new units of the virtual currency is under its control. Once is defined as a cryptographic virtual currency, since within the information system, cryptographic algorithms are used to protect users and authenticate the generation and transaction in units of the virtual currency. At the same time, in the specific case, the cryptographic technology is not used to limit the number of units of the virtual currency that can be generated. Once is defined as a closed virtual currency, since at present the units of the virtual currency cannot be used outside the information system, and their generation is directly related to the performance of user. Once is defined as a specific type of virtual currency with bidirectional flows, as users can buy and sell units of the virtual currency using or in exchange for an official currency. The peculiarity seems for the fact that users do not have the opportunity to purchase directly units of virtual currency, and the fact that payments of any cash generated are made not by other users, by the operator and owner of the information system. Once has some of the fundamental economics characteristics of money. Unit of value, it means to preserve value. It is used as a means of circulation because at the moment there is possibly to purchase goods and services through the platform, Deal Shaker. An important part of one ecosystem is the blockchain network. It stores and processes all transactions that are coming via the REST service layer. The blockchain ensures the integrity of the payment process and stores immutable information about the history of transactions and balance of user accounts, both payment service layer and the blockchain. The solution requirements are separated into two main groups: functional and non-functional. The functional requirements are the known operational activities and process that are implemented and consumed by the rest of the system. The non-functional requirements are describing qualitative characteristics and necessary parameters that have to be covered by the solution in order to satisfy the business case and the overall functional operation of the system that utilize the solution. Wherever a payment transaction takes place, we are talking about the transfer of ownership of a fungible token managed by a smart contract on the blockchain. This action of value transfers is expressed and translated into a blockchain transaction that invokes a smart contract that manages the balance of users and specifically their accounts with regard to the number of coins each balance is holding before and after the execution of the requested transaction. The rules by which a token is created, transferred, and destroyed, is governed by a smart contract that is developed on the blockchain component of the solution. These rules are enforced by the virtual machine, we call it VM, that executes the smart contract code without any difference on which validator node the code is executed. In view of the absence of specific statutory regulations, it should be considered that these activities are inherently, along with everything else, also information society service with the meaning of the Electronic Commerce Act, EC Act, and directive from 2000, the year 2000, /31, EC, on June 8th of 2000, on the certain legal aspects of information society service, in particular electronic commerce in the internal market, Directive 2031 of EC. Pursuant to Article 1, Paragraph 2 and 3, the EC Act, electronic commerce shall mean providing services to the information society, which are defined as such services including transmission of commercial messages, which are usually onerous and are provided from a distance by electronic means upon an explicit declaration of the recipient of the service. As far as the activities related to the one ecosystem do not fall within the exception of the scope of the law conditioned in Article 1, Paragraph 4, at the Act, the owner and operator of the information system will have to be defined as a provider on information, society service, and the service and products, provided by it as direct e-commerce, which according to the established theory, as opposed to the indirect e-commerce, constitutes e-commerce where all elements of the legal relationship are performed remotely and electronically, both the declarations of the internet between the parties for conclusion, modification and termination, and the actual performance and implementation of the outcome of the transaction. Pursuant of the provisions of Article 4, Paragraph 1 of the EC Act, a provider of information society service shall be under the obligation to provide a certain range of data and information, including its name or title, its permanent address or its seat and registered office, contact information including telephone number and email address, data for registration in a commercial or any other public register. Furthermore, pursuant to Act Article 9, service providers should be under the obligation to place at recipient's disposal the general terms and conditions and the content of the contract concluded. Some of the limitations the cryptocurrencies presently face, such as the fact that one's digital fortune can be erased by a computer crash, or that a virtual vault may be, let's say, ransacked by a hacker, may be overcome in the thought technology advance. Some cryptocurrencies have made big progress on this. What will be harder to surmount is the basic paradox that be devil's cryptocurrency, the more popular they become, the more regulation and government scrutiny they are likely to attract, which erodes the fundamental premise for the existence. While the number of merchants who accept cryptocurrencies has steadily increased, they are still very much in the minority. For cryptocurrencies to become more widely used, they have to first gain widespread acceptance among consumers. However, their relative complexity compared to the conventional currencies will probably deter most people except to technological adapt. A cryptocurrency that aspires to become part of the mainstream financial system may have to satisfy widely divergent criteria. It will need to be mathematically complex. That means to avoid fraud and let's call it hacker attacks. But easy to consumers to understand, decentralized but with adequate consumer safeguards and protection, and preserve user anonymity with being a conduit for tax evasion, money laundering, and other nefarious activities. Since these are formidable criteria to satisfy, it is possible that the most popular cryptocurrency in a few years' time could have attributes that fall in between heavy regulated fiat currencies and today's cryptocurrencies? No? What possibly looks remote, there's a little doubt that the leading cryptocurrency at present, Bitcoin's success or lack thereof, it dealing with the challenge it faces may determine the fortune of the other cryptocurrencies in 10 years ahead. Now, the last part of the white paper, this is the roadmap. What I finished right now was that part of the cryptocurrencies, and Vladi explained you all the blockchain details regarding that cryptocurrency. So once again, applause for Vladi. Okay, so I'm starting with the roadmap. Because of the almost exclusively international clients, mainly companies and wealthy private individuals, there is a need for global financial solutions. Especially the corporate clients have, in addition to a desire for comprehensive advice and solutions for a single source, considerable needs on it specifically tolerated solutions. A significant number of customers are coming from Asia. The One ecosystem aimed to build a best-class cryptocurrency operations, capitalizing on the solid existing platform and people, ensuring country of the cryptocurrency activities, service and clients, strengthening its balance sheet through new capital and corresponding relations, while bringing new retail clients to the business from a diversified range of emerging markets, EM, and developed jurisdictions. The objective is to continue to capitalize on the excellent business contacts and reputation. During the next 12 months, the company is planning to go on main and to make the blockchain public, and we will join a public network. In the matter, our transactions will be confirmed by the miners in, yes, it's for about to be applauded. Ladies and gentlemen, our transactions will be confirmed by the miners of the network. This will lead to more clear process and will be a complete proof of concept visible outside our centralized blockchain, keeping with our very transparent ecosystem one process. The existing business model will remain unchanged, ensuring continuity of activities while expanding the retail clients base. The targeted increase in profitability will be achieved through expansion of the retail clients base introduced by the new shareholders, which in turn will boost the income as well as synergies created with the corporate business introduced by the existing shareholders. The capital base of one ecosystem will be significantly strengthened in order to ensure solid financial prospects of the institution during difficult economic conditions in the market. After the blockchain was improved last year, in the coming years, the company will focus its effort on completing the One Forex and One Exchange project. Now, your applause are for here. Through significant client base, enlargement and wise operating cost policies, the company expects to recover its profitability, increase the variety of the service and products offered. Due to the rapid growth of the company and the growing interest of more and more consumers around the world, in order to make the products more accessible to the end user, the company business plan includes defining areas and providing franchises for those areas. You may have heard of the study which says that only 1 in 10 startups survives after the 5th year, and only 1 in 10 of and 1 of 10 of them continues to exist after the 10th year. Only 10% of all new companies have a chance to grow and survive more than 10 years. It must be true. According to other study by the International Franchise Association, IFA, about 90% of the franchised businesses were still on the market at the end of the 5th year. But what is a franchise? According to one of the accepted definitions, franchise is a vertically cooperative organizational system of legally independent companies that sell goods and services on contract basis. The system manifests itself as a single structure and is characterized by the distribution of functions between partners. One company, called franchisor or parent company, gives a branch company, called franchise, a license to carry out a certain business. This is done under specific contractual terms. In more understandable language, the franchise buys the right to do business under the name and approved structure of the franchisor, for which he pays franchise price. It consists of initial franchise fee, current royalties, which are usually monthly fee for National Advertising Fund. The most important advantages of this form of business are: first, the entrepreneur uses the successful and well-known trademark of the franchisor, as well as his reputation. Second, franchising allows you to start a business with significantly less capital than in the usual case of self-employment. This is due to the saved cost of research and building a successful system of work provided by the parent company. Another advantage, this is number 3, if I'm correct. Another advantage for startup entrepreneur is the help they receive from the parent company. This enables businessmen without any economic experience or knowledge of the industry to create a very successful business. This concept requires those who will receive a franchise for specific areas to follow the rules imposed by the operational manuals, as well as to consult about any change. There is another topic that I want to mention right now. This is the organizational structure and management process. It is very important here. Business continuity is of utmost importance for the shareholders. Therefore, current management and structure will not be significantly changed in the following 12 to 24 months. It is planned to strengthen the company with non-executive experienced professionals, mainly to capitalize their knowledge of industry in the regions the company plans to expand in the forthcoming years. Needless to say that the introduction of significant clients base and exception to the new geographical markets will require additional human resources in the departments involved in these requirements are already properly budgeted. Moreover, the company will reevaluate all the business flow and processes and will proceed with any optimization required in order to further increase efficiency as well as ensure provision of high-quality service, a large client base. That exercise should enable the company to achieve even higher automation and integration of new technology as well as introduction of new location in Asia and Latam. The company are committed to maintain its proper structure in order to continue to ensure a sound corporate governance and management process that focuses on control, risk management, and profitability. I'm going to put right now the topic on the country boards. Country boards will be created for easier and accessible communication. They have the task to acquire the members with the administrative procedures, which will be funded by fees withheld by revenue-generating members. For example, when a member reaches 1,000 euro, the deduct commission is 10 euro. When it reaches 5,000 euro, another 10 euro. And when it reaches 10,000 euro, as a third step, another 10 euro. The number of members in country boards for each region will be different, depending on the number of active members in that region. A term of office for country boards members will be set. After the expiration of the term of office, elections will be held for new board members. Board members must have high morale, protect and work for the company's image, and not break the rules. If necessary, the board will vote on budget to resolve cases on other territory. The presidents of the country boards will take part in continental boards to another level, where solutions for the global development of the network will be discussed and proposed. The continental board will report on its activities and provide information on the activities of the country boards to the global board. This is the most important part of the country boards. I think I managed to explain it well. I'm going right now to explain one of the last modules. This is the business model. Thank you. The business model is a small one as Alliance, but you will see how important it is. To provide flexible, cost-efficient, and intelligent solutions to the clients in need of international banking, building on the existing IT and human infrastructure. Clients are expected to come from a wide range of jurisdictions in Asia, Middle East, Europe, and Latin America. This is the most important part of the business module. Now we're skipping to the corresponding relationship. This is a prominent focus is to ensure all compliance policies and controls are there. The system are robust and all the operational process are in a place, work properly. The company aims to improve its corresponding bank relationship by enforcing strict regulation compliance, by strengthening its capital base, and of course, by bringing additional transactional business in the corresponding currencies. The company aims to expand and develop not only the existing corresponding relationships, but also add new in order to provide its clients with better service. Highest priority is to be devoted to establishment of corresponding relations in Asia and LATAM in order to facilitate the needs of the markets. The company is planning to expand in the near future.